Welcome to USMLESarthi. We are committed to empowering IMGs. We're excited to guide you on your match journey. Don't forget to click subscribe and turn on notifications so you can get notified whenever we add new content. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter for the latest tips and tricks regarding everything USMLE. Now, let's dive into it.
Hello and welcome to the workshop, which is about IB prep. We are getting lots of question on all the social media platforms and personally, like what to do. We have the interview in 1 week or 10 days. So this is a big question now, and yes, most of the students have received the interview. There are more to go. I would suggest don't be stressed because interview season is still not over, right?
So basically, what we wanted to do in this webinar is help you prepare in very short time, a fast-paced, let's say you have an interview next week, right? So what all should you be focused on? How to make sure in that short amount of time you don't get stressed, how to have that confidence to answer the 15, 20 most important questions. And part of it is also do you need any kind of structured preparation? So for example, as let me share the poll results with you. So about 82% of you have applied from the attendees in this season, and many of you are actually having interviews in the next 10 days, as you can probably see, right? So in terms of preparation, there are various ways you prepare. So many students prepare with other co-applicants in a structured way, which is good. However, unless there is some kind of a guidance, you're all in the same boat. You don't know really what the interviewer is looking for, and it could be a hit and miss. You can always prepare with seniors. And then, of course, there are other structured ways. So Dr. Khan, for example, runs our Sarthi group for interview preparation, right? So that's all on the agenda for today. And but before we start, I think Swati, we have a video to share. Is that what it is or no?
Yes.
Then, sorry, go ahead.
So I want to know what do you think how we should prepare and what we should keep in mind if we have the less time for the interview preparation. So we want the ideas from you, then we will share the videos. So please just share in the chat box. Till then, Pawan, you can continue.
Yeah, so I think the intent of this question is, how are you guys dealing with the interviews if you have an interview in the next week or 10 days, or maybe you're not even preparing? So if in the chat box, you can tell us what you're doing or what should be done, that will help also. And then, of course, we'll go over certain questions and how to answer them. So Dr. Khan will do that with our students who are in his group and they are practicing regularly. So if you have any text or comment, put it in the chat box on how you are preparing. I gave you certain data points. So, okay. So some of you are waiting for the invitations, which, which is usual. It is very competitive. But remember, what happens is sometimes you can get an interview invite and they want you to interview next week. So that's where this rapid interview preparation could come in. Anyone else? What are you doing to prepare for the interviews?
So you guys can post like if there is any fear you want to overcome or what you should do, any tips for the other applicants as well. So anything, just make it more interactive session. Guidance from the seniors.
Guidance
Okay.
from the seniors as well. Okay. Practicing with seniors. So that seems to be an important part, which is fine. Reading about the mission and program data. So reading about the program always helps. And recording yourself is important. So we also have an AI tool that helps. You record your interview responses. Knowing your CV, an absolutely integral part. Everyone needs to know their CV. Common questions. Okay, so you guys got more or less, at least collectively, you know what to do. All right, let's move on. So Swati, let's move on to the video that you want them to
Yes.
see so that they can get a hang of it.
So first, the classes, the 12 classes for those interview questions is really good. I mean, all the questions, they almost covered all the questions I got during my interview. So I think I'm well prepared for this part. And also, I actually only have 3 interviews booked because I don't have enough time. So both are, I think that is really good for me to help me to be prepared and build.
Okay, so if you could just go over her journey, Pavan.
Yeah. So Obo Lee was our student from China last year. She got 3 interviews in the main season, so not a lot. But then we worked with her. She got 4 more interviews in the show, so a total of 7. And she was she was our platinum student, but then she was in the same shoes, last minute soap interviews, what to prepare, with type of questions, and she matched in soap. So that was one of the inspirations for this webinar on what to do if you have interviews at a very short notice. So that's something that she benefited from. And of course, what she is referring to is our short classes. There are 12 and there are other classes. And Dr. Khan, who will go after me, he runs that interview prep group as well. Okay, let's move on, Swati, to the next one.
Yeah, so I just want to summarize, or I want to add one or two more points. So how she was able to crack the interviews, she got the interview insights from us, and she was able to manage those questions. She have checked all the questions what these program were asking. She was able to answer those questions, and she practiced well, and she also had the mock interviews with us. So this is how she could manage her interviews within limited time. She was suffering from language barrier. She couldn't complete her OET. That's why she went to the SOAP. This was the main reason she couldn't go in the match. So I would suggest just prepare, practice in advance, and go in a well-planned manner.
Okay,
so
good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so
yeah,
let's move on. I think so this we've already covered, right? So how to manage the interview. So we can move on. That's okay. Let's move. Okay. So it is now my pleasure. I think they've been waiting patiently. Dr. Khan, a very, very good friend, dear friend, and who is a pro in interview preparation. He has helped hundreds of students, and now he's committed to helping Sarthi students. I appreciate that a bit. So he has an extensive experience, as you can read. He's a surgeon, and now he's mentoring Sarthi students. So what he does is he runs our interview preparation group, and on daily basis, students practice with a select set of questions. And what we wanted to do is bring him in so he can explain A, how he runs the group, and B, then there are 2 or 3 questions we want to have a role play. So he'll ask a question, then we have a couple of students who are going into the match this season. So he'll introduce them, and they'll answer that question. He'll give them feedback. Then we'll open up to all of you. If you want to answer that question, he'll help you structuring that. And we want to do all of that in the next 20 minutes. I know you're all very busy, but we wanted to get the maximum out of Dr. Khan. So over to you, Dr. Khan. Take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Pavan. So, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. As my routine, this one, I have to tell you my temperature right now. It's 54 in San Antonio. It's nice weather, okay? So the clouds are also there and little bit raining. So let me start with a connection. In 2021, in March, I called Pawan at lunchtime. Maybe he don't remember that. So he was busy with a student, and he called me that because this was my first call, and he called me back, and he told that Abdul, I will call you after 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So that was my first interaction with Pawan, a great man, a great vision. I love the person who have a great vision. He has a broad vision to help international graduate, to give them the rotation, to arrange them the every possible way to enter into the system, legal way, not the illegal way. We don't practice illegal way. So coming back to the point that how I run the group. So my students are about right now is 426, around 426, that are worldwide doctors, well-trained doctors, well-competent, well-rounded. Everyone is at the same level, but competing to be the best. So here my role starts, to polish them, because a teacher should know that he's a teacher, then he can polish. To polish them in their qualities, to train them. In my session, that started with almost every day, but right now, due to the busy schedule, we have done almost once per week. Then these students practice themselves. And when they practice themselves, they practice the same question. We don't stop it here. We also follow the feedback from our students who got the interviews, so that we can practice these questions with other students. So right now, I have my 3 students. They willingly, free of will, they have offered that we will participate and we will give an example that how Sarthi trains the students and how they are best from each other.
Hello, Dr. Khan.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I always tell my students that if I want to choose one, that will be Asit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So let me ask the question.
Hope all the program directors think like that.
That is not in our hand. Everyone has different mindset. Okay, we can. Okay, so let's start with, tell me about yourself.
Hi, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present myself to your program. I am Asit, and I am from a rural area, born in a Delhi Wizard family. Did my medical school from a city, then joined as resident at All India Institute of Medical Sciences in forensic medicine. I worked hard, I grew with the subject, and now I'm a professor in that subject. But something happened during COVID-19. During COVID-19, I was given the responsibility to run non-COVID clinics because all the doctors and residents were busy with the COVID patients. So there I learned that working with the patients and their relatives is far more satisfying than working with the deaths and their kins. Then I decided to get retrained, and I chose neurology. Neurology has always been my interest because of my personal and various other experiences. So I did my clinical rotations in the US for about 3 months in neurology, and that rotation actually increased the interest in the subject, and that's why I am here. I have applied to a program because I am hardworking. I worked in a team and I can multitask. I have more than 10 years of teaching experience and research experience, and I have gone through a program, and I know that your program values that. That's why I am here. And my experiences, I will be a perfect fit for your program, and I hope my experiences will help your program growing and shining. Outside medicine, I am always for my friends, and I also love to travel, and that's why I am here to start my new journey of my career with your program. Thank you.
Okay,
Very good, very good. So yeah, Dr. Abdul, let's give him some feedback. before we open it up to others.
You will start, sir.
Well, no. Why don't you start?
Okay, so Asit, we all know that you have all the qualities that you have mentioned. So just keep in mind the time. Time is very okay. So and one thing more, you at the end you bowled yourself. You did hit. Okay, you hit your bat at the wickets. You know why?
Why?
No, you said that's why I am here.
Okay, right.
Okay, that's why I am here. So this means that you are superior to the program. We have given you the interview. If we not give you the interview, you will not be here. So be humble at the end. Stay calm, cool, but keep the words in mind. Anyone program director may be thinking that, okay, I have given him the opportunity and he's saying that's why I'm here. That's why means you have told all your qualities, that your qualities are superior to my program.
Yeah.
This is my feedback. Otherwise, we always discuss, even every day he called me at 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. in the morning. So he's my prayer time.
All right, let me give you some feedback. So overall, as you can see, he is building from the forensic to neurology, which is important for all of you, especially those who are changing specialties, right? So he had that lovely story on how he was able to build a neurology interest. That's one. The second good thing, for those of you who know AIMS, he name dropped it, which was very good, right? There are programs who will know about AIMS. There are other programs who won't know about it, but it's a very good, one of the top hospitals or institutes in India, just as Aga Khan is in Pakistan, and every country has those, colleges. So he very smartly brought in his college name. And so all that was good. I think you were building a very good story. Now, don't feel compelled to answer in my free time. Tell me something about yourself is unique to everyone. You built a story, and I thought by the time you said I have done extensive research and all that, I said, okay, maybe this is where a logical end will come. Because what you want is you want the next question to go from where you ended the response, right? But suddenly then you came to, okay, in my free time and all that, and that didn't really fit. But otherwise, you've done very well. I mean, I think that, and the time element, of course, keep it 90 seconds or less around that. That'll be wonderful. But otherwise, you've done well. So maybe, Abdul, we should take one more from the audience. Anyone else who is interested in answering this question, just raise your hand or something, and Swati will give you audio video access. Okay, Sai Kiran. So Swati, maybe you can give them access. Sai Kiran or Indresh.
Yes.
So we need audio and video both.
Yes, then we will be able. Okay, so Dr. Sai Kiran, just unmute yourself and keep your video on. Dr. Sai.
If you don't mind, can you give me a second? I'm at my workplace. Let me find a place.
Okay, we'll wait for you.
It will take some minutes.
Or someone else, till he's finding a space, because we got to move. Anyone else?
Anyone else who want to answer? Okay, Indresh.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
You are audible, but your video is not there. So please share your video. Okay, maybe he had issues. All right, I think we need to move on when these guys can figure out their audio video. So Surya, so Abdul, maybe we take the next question with Dr. Surya.
Yeah.
We have one more person here. Should I give the access?
I think we should go with Surya first and then.
Okay, let's go with Surya and then we come back.
Hi, Surya. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Nice to meet all.
So as you know, we have gone through almost Asit as well as Marcelina.
Yes.
So my question for you is very simple. Why we should choose you as our resident as compared to other two?
Okay. I see both of them are excellent applicants, but I would like to share what is unique about me. I think it's my clinical and research background. So I have 9 months of clinical experience in neurology, and before that, I was practicing in India for a few years as a primary care provider. So I think I have this clinical skills to give an example. During my rotation, my resident told me that I pick up on a lot of findings that they think others might miss. So I think that's one thing I will bring to the program. And my research background, I'm working as a research associate at UT Health Houston, Texas. It's about neuromodulation for epilepsy, which is very meaningful for me because I have a family member with epilepsy. So when I'm doing the research, I know that I'm going to help a lot of people, not just in the US, but worldwide. So I have this urge to help people, and I will keep looking for opportunities to do the same in your program. And I see that. So that's why I want you to choose me. Yeah.
Okay. I will, sir, can I start with the feedback?
Of course, you start and then I'll add.
Okay. It is well structured, well prepared, well stitched words. And I think, and the most important thing that we should appreciate that on the start, you said that both are very excellent students. So from saying after this, appreciating your colleagues, and then you started your answer. So yes, it is good answer. That's it, sir. Now, sir.
Yeah. So she started very well. As you can see, it shows humility. It shows an acknowledgement that there's a lot of competition and the other applicants obviously bring in their skills. But then, you got to balance humility with self-proponent or promoting yourself, which is important because in this country, you really, really have to promote yourself. So she said, yes, your program is competitive. Other students have those skills, but I am unique. And then she delved into her clinical and research, and she gave specific example. And then, interviews, you always want to connect and bring out your story. So she spoke about her research area and how one of her family members, that story was there. So there is a connection. So that all brings together to be a very well-knit answer, as Dr. Abdul said. So very well done. I think this was a very good answer.
Thank you so much.
So anyone else who want to answer this question from the attendees, just raise your hand, please, and let's give a big round of applause for Dr. Surya. At least she was ready to answer this question. Guys, come on.
Yes, I think that is also something to be appreciated, in this day and age, to be able to share, come in front of camera and do this is very commendable. So thank you. Okay, anyone else who wants to answer this question, why should we hire you?
Okay, there's one person. I'm unmuting.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Sai, I think you are there. Yeah, just switch on your camera, please.
Sorry, Swati, I couldn't find that option to switch on my camera.
Hang on, let me give that option. Hang on. Okay, maybe. Yeah, I think there's some issue with your side, but okay, we can start. You do it without the camera. That's fine.
Okay. So thanks for giving me this opportunity. I'm Sai Kiran. So I feel USMLE is a difficult journey. So everyone has a different background and everyone has their own set of challenges. So I respect everyone's journey. I really can't compare myself with other candidates, but I can say one thing, that I bring in everything that a good hardworking resident requires who is here to practice the medicine in US. So, I come from the most populated part of the world, India, and I worked in the rural setting and also in the urban setting where I see hundreds of patients. Like in a week, like I used to see 100 to 200 of patients. And while I was working in the rural setting, there was no resources, just with the symptoms and the physical examination, I was able to figure out what the patient needs. So definitely I have those great clinical skills and I developed those clinical skills which is suitable to your program. And I developed that particular skill. Along with that, I have that good education and research papers as well. So academically, I bring in everything that a good resident requires. Plus, I'm the first one who was moving out of my country. And, I really worked hard after the COVID in getting these rotations and also the research activities where I learned a lot. And so definitely I say I come with a personality where, once if I set a goal to myself, I give my 100% to achieve it, where I can see that through my professional and personal experience. So without comparing myself with others, I would say that I bring in everything that a good resident requires, and I assure you that definitely I will be a great asset for your program. Thank you.
Okay. Abdul, you want to go?
Sai, have you practiced with us in the group before?
No, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get the point.
I didn't practice that in with you in a group.
Yeah, because you have to be the part of our group, and so that because what I feel a lot of trimming in the answer is needed, and go back and forth on the discussion with the other colleagues, with us, and the tone you were taking it monotonous throughout. You were going on the same pitch in all of your answer. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that we have to figure out, but that is only possible when you will be in the group.
Okay.
And take part in our volunteer activities. Our students help each other. They listen the answer, then they give another answer. Is like that, because as I mentioned, there were many things that needs to be discussed. I did this compared to the other students. You started with this one, and that I cannot compare. Then you said I can compare, that I am bringing in these things. So a lot of things no need to be discussed. Just as Dr. Soraya started with only one sentence, that I know that all the other two are very excellent. So this means she had prepared before that many times. Then she said this one. Otherwise, she maybe this sentence she have to take 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are here for help. Okay, not to criticize, not to judge. You are our colleague. You are a doctor, well qualified, well rounded. We respect each and everyone. But when it comes to the feedback, we should be honest.
Yeah, so with due respect, I totally understand your feedback, and yeah, definitely I'll work on it.
Thank you.
Let me also give you some feedback. I think you started well. There were some filler words, that you have to cut out. I saw that you were trying to bring your uniqueness from the volume of patients, which is good. So you said, I think 100 to 200 patients in a week. That was a good one. I think you spoke about research also. That was good. But you got to be more specific, because I couldn't see how many papers or how much time you have spent in research. Because the next question, remember, interview is a conversation, right? So if you lead me to the next question, I will answer. I've asked that question. So if your strength is research, you should give me more specifics on research towards the end. You also mentioned about USCE, but you didn't get into, you just said USCE. If you had told me I got extensive USCE and I learned about maybe evidence-based medicine or some of those things, maybe my next question would have been more on those lines. So remember, you have to lead the interviewer. So you have to be more specific in what you give me. Okay.
Yeah, sir, understood. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, I think we can take one more question. Someone who wants to answer, tell me something about yourself. I think that was, we skipped that. So anyone who wants to answer, tell me something about yourself. Okay, I think it's Indresh. So Swati, if you can give access.
Hello again. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
So first of all, I would like to thank you for having me here, and I'm really grateful to get opportunity to interview at your program. My name is Indresh Yadav. I was born and raised in Bengasiopur, a small village famous for agriculture and sugarcane production in Nepal, a Himalayan country. My educational journey has been quite diverse. I did my schooling in Nepal, and then I went to India for my higher education, and then to Bangladesh for my medical education. And these experiences, sorry, and these experiences exposed me to different culture, environment, languages, emphasizing the adaptability and flexibility in multicultural environment. After my graduation, I worked as a medical officer in ICU, and later I escalated to senior medical officer in another facility in internal medicine department, where I took care of a diverse patient population. And this experience really helped me to practice my medical knowledge and advance my clinical skills. And besides that, I have been volunteering throughout all these years. I believe that volunteering is something that helps my compassion to turn into action and at the same time help the underserved population. So when I thought about pursuing USMLE because of COVID-19 pandemic, I thought that I need to broaden my horizon and contribute to the global health. Immediately coming to the United States.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Yadev.
Yes.
Are you reading from a paper?
No.
How can I show? Turn on your camera.
Okay.
I think there is an issue with the video, but
no, does it sound like reading from anything?
That's why I told you we did not want to stop you, but this look, that's why we are here. This is not the way of presentation. You are reading from a book. I mean, I didn't mean that you are reading from a note. Although your camera is on and you are speaking like that, this means you are reading from a book.
Oh, okay. So got it, sir.
Yeah, this is your feedback. I think, Sir Pawan, we should move to a further one.
Yeah, so I think just to add on to that, you may not be reading, but if the so you see how people read news. If you have seen any of the news channels, you know, you need to be more conversational. You need to have the the intonation and pause at the right time. Otherwise, it was very flat, and even if you are not reading, it came out as too well rehearsed. Everyone rehearses, but yours was doing over it. So the interviewer will get a feeling that you were reading it. That I think that's what he means. Yeah. All right. So I think we can take one last question before we end the season or the session. I'm sorry. So which question, Abdul, would you want to ask the audience? Someone who's not answered.
Okay. Let's see who want to answer this one. That what's the difference in healthcare system in your country and in United States?
Okay.
Yes. Raise the hand, please. Okay. Saifullah Fazi, we want to answer.
So I think give him access.
Yeah, I've given the access.
Okay.
Hello, doctor. You can unmute yourself, doctor.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shafiullah Faizi, and I'm excited to participate in such a good presentation. I come from Afghanistan. I came to United States in 2022 October, and I have done my MD back in Afghanistan. And so I have been preparing for steps, and I saw your post in the Facebook, and I got really excited to participate in such a presentations because I can use your experiences in knowledge to go through my journey. And the question, I would like to come to the questions. I don't want to spread it out. So the questions between the health sector here in the US and back in Afghanistan is there's a huge difference, because mostly in Afghanistan, like the health sector, especially the physicians in every sectors, they don't depend a lot in investigations. Like they don't try to do the final investigation, because the patient doesn't want to do a lot of investigation to spend a lot of money to get the final diagnosis. But here in the US, the doctors, the physician first want to take the whole history, physical examination, and go through all the investigations. Once the diagnosis is set up, then they start the management. But back in my country, like there is mostly people, physicians do the empirical treatment. Like let's give an example. A patient has tonsillitis or sore throat.
Dr. Shafaullah, thank you. Let me take one follow-up question. Okay, very good. We highly appreciate that you read the Facebook post and you registered our webinar. So let me ask you a question from here. So like these type of questions, difference between the healthcare system in your country and the United States. There are two ways to answer. One, if you have done the rotation here. Have you done any rotation here or no?
I have not done any rotations, but I have facilitating the refugees medical appointments with the physicians with different specialists. So through that, through my assessments, I can see the difference. I can feel it. The way the physician deal with the patients, and I notice it that the difference, huge difference. But back in my country, I did many rotation. That's why I can say that.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Shafaullah Fadi. So this means that the difference is in the EMR. Okay, the answer for the residency is not what you are giving. You are giving explanation. We don't need explanation. We need answer, and the answer should be structured. What is the difference from back home? EMR, patient-centered approach. These are the preventive medicine. These are the things any program director want to listen. But we highly appreciate, and I will request Sir Pawan to further continue.
Yeah, so the answer was a bit long. It took a while to come to the crux, but if you structure it in these categories, the differences, whether it is patient-centered, EMR, or working in a cross-functional team, I think those would be the areas to hit. Now, you said you've done a residency in Afghanistan. Is that what you said? Okay, I think he went on mute. But if you, for those of you who have done home country residency, I think the crux would be that I have done, residency in my home country, and I've had extensive home country experience. And then I thought he has not done USC here. But for those of you who've done USC, then quickly move on to tell me that you've 8 to 9 months or whatever number of months of USC, and you can compare and contrast, and then go into the 2 or 3 differences. So I think from a timing perspective, it took some time to come to the crux. So that would be the one, and then hit the 3 or 4 main points. But I think that was all. It's already, we are over our time, but thank you everyone. And thank you especially Dr. Abdul, Dr. Asit, and Surya for your wonderful time on a Sunday. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys have any other question, Swati can share what you need. We have a lot of free YouTube videos as well, and we have other aspects that you can use for your interview preparation. Get in touch with us if you need anything, and we will be in touch also for other webinars. Anything else, Swati?
Yeah, Pawan, if you can answer one question, will residency in home country will increase my chances to get a match even with no research, no resume?
No research, no resume. Oh, you
Yeah.
mean no USCE? Okay, so maybe
Yes.
the answer of the question is structured differently. So home country residency does help, especially if it is in the same specialty, and if it is in one of the primary care, IM, FM, neuro, pathology kind of specialty. But without USCE, it could be hard. So home country residency with USCE would be the way to go. Of course, there are other criteria like scores as well. Okay. So, but if you have, some questions, you can always set up time with us. So, Swati, maybe you can give them that link as well.
Yes, yes, I'll give the link. And the last question, criteria for ranking candidates. So
Yeah, I
what?
saw that. I saw the
Yeah.
question. We will have more webinars on rank order
Yeah.
list and how programs will use that to rank. But for now, you guys should just focus on your side, which is the interview. Focus on what you can control. Briefly, programs have various, there's a committee, and the interview is one of the most important criteria. Interview preparation is very important. So that can be make or break. But of course, there are other criterias. They can go back to your scores, your profile, your year of graduation. So we'll talk all about that in the next month or so as we get closer to the rank order list.
Thank you, Pawan. And I would like to take last tip from Dr. Abdul if you want to give any tip for attendees.
Yes,
for
sure.
interview.
Thank you. I was waiting for this moment. As always. So first of all, I am thankful to Asit and Dr. Suresh, Dr. Marcelena. They come up to the front and they decided to answer the question. I will end up with the words of my professor, the professor of medicine, Professor Nasimullah. He was taking class when I was third year. It was 1993. I had a habit to make the notes. So he started with that. The class was about how to diagnose a disease with the help of signs and symptoms. So he started with this one, that a man traveled in a desert with a camel, and the man slept and the camel ran away. The man woke up and he was so angry and he enraged that what happened. So, but all of a sudden, a thought came in his mind that let me follow the footsteps. So there were the footsteps that are called hooves of the camel, and he followed that until he reached the camel. So then he started saying like that, disease always follow with the signs. Here in this scenario, the symptom was camel. The signs were footsteps. Okay, and the doctor was that traveler. So that traveler have to follow both symptoms and sign to reach up to the diagnosis. In the same way, you cannot diagnose a disease until you know the signs. In 1998, I will end up on this one. I was doing a family practice in Nara Mator, Kahuta, a small city. So there was no power, no electricity, completely. And my mother was living with me downstairs, and upstairs was the clinic. So we had a person who used to bring the water, cook and heat it, and then we used to drink. 3 o'clock in the morning, one person knocked the door. My nurse opened and he said, I want the doctor to go with me right now. This is 100% true. I have suffered this. So I am blessed with this one also. Today I am here because of this story. So I asked my nurse, what's the problem? He told that he's telling, I want to take to doctor home. I told, where is the home? So उर्दू में उसे कहते हैं, हमारे लोग आसानी से कहते हैं सर इधर है, ये एक हाथ का इशारा करते हैं, but they say he just stretched his arm and said इधर है. So I started walking, water, ponds, water, hills, mountains, water. After 1 hour, we reached to his house at a hill, no power, no water. An old man was lying on the bed under lantern light. His abdomen was distended. His eyes were yellowish. I did not ask a single question. Not a single question. I just saw the man. I told this is CLD, uncompensated. I told my nurse, give him 10% dextrose water. Oh, okay, and give him lactulose. After 3 days, up to 7 days, same old man came from the hill himself to my clinic. And my clinic from 0 then touched up to 100. 2 reasons, my mother and this case. So that patient care, you go through many events of the life, you are going through, but you have the heart for the patient. You are the healers, not the killers. You are the healers, not the traders. You work for your respect, not for money. Money will follow you. One of my professor, again, Professor Bushra Khan, the wife of Dr. Umar, principal Rawalpindi Medical College, I did house job with her. When the house job was ending, she told, not only to me, all the residents, never follow money. Money will follow you. Take care of the patients. That's it. Patient care. Thank you. And God bless you. Thank you, Sir Pawan, giving me the opportunity. And we are always available on our interview group.
Thank you,
very
Dr.
much.
Abdul.
And we'll leave now.
Thank you,
and
Dr. Khan. Thank you, Pawan sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
And
Thank
if you need
you.
to grab the links will be available. So thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope that video provided valuable insights for your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And check out our website for details on how we can guide you to a successful match.